Hey guys, welcome to linguamarina and welcome to the first video on this channel from my new studio in Silicon Valley. We are finally in a new home and I hope you've been following me on Instagram, so you've seen all the transitions we've been through. It's linguamarina on Instagram as well. And today we're gonna talk about finding people to practice your English language. And I know speaking is the hardest part for a lot of students. And by the way, right now in comments below, please let me know what is your main struggle with the English language right now. I remember when I was at school and I didn't live in the US, I was desperate to find people to practice my English with. And whenever I saw somebody from abroad, I would be like the first person to talk to them. And I'm gonna share some of the tips that are just common that other people use as well. So first of all, teenage Marina, around 14 years old, 14 to 16 years old. This is the time when I came back from the UK for the first time, and I realized that my English is nothing close to native speaker level, and I thought I was so proficient. Because I started learning English when I was 4, and then I went to school when I was 7, when we had English every single day, and I thought I am just perfect. But then I came to the UK, I couldn't understand people couldn't understand me, it was a complete mess, and I felt really as an outlier because I couldn't communicate with people. When I came back to Russia, I told myself, Marina, you have to solve this problem. Marina, you have to go out there and practice English. So number one thing that I did, I started going to museums in my city, and I was lucky to be born and raised in a city called St. Petersburg, which is one of the best cities in the world in terms of architecture and museums. And we have the Hermitage, and the Hermitage is this huge museum that has a lot of art, and it attracts a lot of tourists. So I would just go to that museum, and I had a free pass as a Russian student. So I went into that museum and I just looked at people who were confused or trying to find their way. And I don't know how to explain this, but you can always tell whether a person is Russian or whether a person is a foreigner. So I could tell from 10 meters or 20 meters that I see some foreigners and they're lost. I would just approach them and say, hey, do you need any help? I was just, I was desperate to practice English. And this is something that you can do once. I don't know if museums are open in your country or if you have any museums in your city, but try that. Just walk around the museum, look at people, see tourists, approach them and ask them if they need any help. That helped me a lot. And there were a couple ladies who were lost, and then I showed them the way, and we kept walking around the city for an hour or so, and we kept practicing English, so that was really useful. Number 2, another thing that you can do, find a British consul or US consulate or embassy in your country and just write them an email or reach out to them or see if they have any events. Again, depends on the country. In my country, Russia, when I was back at school, they had a lot of events for people to just come over. British Council would have weekly meetups for people who like English literature. US Embassy would have different events like Flex, which is kind of a competition where winners can go to the US. But even if you take part in that competition, you get to talk to people from the embassy, Americans. And then another thing US Embassy did, they organized movie nights. And again, you could come there and talk to people, and this is what I did. I was a subscriber on their Facebook pages. I was following them everywhere, and whenever I had time to attend the event, and again, I would just practice English. And these were my favorite types of events because you're not just talking to random people, you're talking to people from the embassy. And they were a huge inspiration for my future career because I looked at them and I thought, I want to be like those people. I want to travel the world. I want to spread my culture around. And I would always ask them, how did you end up being a consul, or how did you end up working in an embassy? These are my favorite types of events. So definitely reach out to those organizations and definitely follow them everywhere in terms of social media, not stalking. Follow them on social media and see what kinds of events they organize in your city or in your country. Number 3, there are also other types of clubs and communities for English speakers. I was a part of such a community, again, in St. Petersburg. It was a really small community, maybe 20 people. I was introduced by a friend from school and he attended their events regularly, but basically what they did, they would invite someone, even Russian, they would just invite someone who's good at English to speak about something. So we had a lady who wrote a book and she was talking about this book in English. Oh, we had a mayor of Edinburgh who just came to St. Petersburg and he was talking about Edinburgh. We had somebody who was translating English books into Russian. We had a CEO of a store where they sold books in English. So different interesting people, again, holding conversations in English. Google something like this, you would definitely have something, at least online, something that you can attend. Oh, we're gonna talk about online resources a little later in this video, but I wanna focus on offline first. I don't know, I like offline communication, and I've been missing offline communication a lot in the past year when the whole thing started. If you think that your English is not enough to start speaking, first of all, you're wrong. If you understand this video, you probably have a lot of knowledge to help you start speaking. But the second thing that you can do is take one of my courses. I have a course that is specifically for people probably like you, intermediate, have a lot of knowledge, but are afraid to speak. We focus a lot on how to actually start speaking. We focus a lot on how to build your speech that it sounds naturally, like all the vocabulary that you can use, grammar that you can use. The course is called Intermediate to Advanced. It starts every month. It lasts 30 days. And there you also have groups where you can communicate with others. We have special chats for people. And this is a great way to find a speaking buddy and also improve your language skills with me. The classes are pre-recorded, so you can take them from anywhere, anytime. You will get tests after every module, so you will be able to practice whatever you just learned. And I've created this course with a professional teacher, Vania, who's also not a native speaker, but you won't be able to tell because he's just mastering this pronunciation like he's amazing at that. The link will be below and you will have a special promo code because you watched this video. The next thing that you can do is go to meetup.com. I don't know if it's available in your country necessarily, but I also know that even people who come to the US, they struggle to practice English because they end up living in a community of people from their country. And I know there's like a huge community in New York, a huge community of Russians. And I was in that neighborhood and everything is in Russian. Like if you go to a bank, it's Bank of America, but everything is in Russian and people are Russian. And I know there are Chinatowns, there are India towns, and a lot of those smaller communities, which are great in terms of like when you come there, you feel like at home. But if you're trying to practice English, it might be really hard. So if you are in that situation, go to meetup.com and see what kinds of events are organized around your area and attend those events. Again, they're probably all online right now, but I'm not sure because it depends on the country where you are. In California, almost everything is still online. But the thing is, this site, meetup.com, has a separate page for people who want to practice languages. And they have different groups all over the globe in small and big cities. All the links will be below, so you will have all the resources that you can use later on when you decide to start practicing English. And I hope that you decide right after this video, because practice makes perfect. Another thing that I've seen trending on different social media like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, etc., especially because I'm an influencer and I get a lot of DMs from people like, oh, can you practice English with me? Or if I organize a group, I have like a big Telegram channel, and some people complained that they became a part of this Telegram channel and they just got random DMs from people who want to practice English. I don't think that's the best idea, just reaching out to people and cold texting them like, hey, can you practice English with me? Because it is a little weird. It might work. And I found a friend in Germany this way. I was just randomly texting people on Skype to practice German. And then we actually met in person. Well, not a friend, but like a person I know. And he was willing to communicate with me. He was the same age and it was kind of okay. But this is the only thing that ever worked for me in terms of like cold texting people. What you can do is you can join IELTS and TOEFL groups on Facebook and WhatsApp or whatever you're able to find in your country and your city, or whatever you're able to find online. Because when people are preparing for TOEFL and IELTS, they tend to be more serious. Their English language skills tend to be better, and this would enhance your experience. There are also some other apps that were created necessarily for finding a speaking buddy. The apps are Speak Native, Open Talk, Speaky, Halo, and there are many others. From all the platforms, I really liked Speak Native just because you have to create an introductory video about yourself before you start communicating with others, and that really helps you determine whether you want to talk to that person because you want to see their level of English, their interests, etc. And when you have this introductory video, it really helps. Okay, the next cool thing that you can do is join Clubhouse. Clubhouse is this new app that is taking off like crazy in Silicon Valley. Millions of users. The only problem with it right now is that you can only get in by getting an invite from someone else. I only have 2 invites on Clubhouse and I already given away one of them. So you really need to be active on Clubhouse to generate those invites. Basically, if you have friends that are on Clubhouse, ask them, or maybe just ask around on social media if anyone can give you an invite. But basically, Clubhouse is this app. I'm gonna demonstrate. So basically it's this app where you have many rooms that you can join and listen to conversations, and sometimes you can participate, like, I don't know, FinTech Europe.
They lower a bit the barrier of entry to some of their products, especially if they're,
so
more expensive products.
They're basically just people talking about different topics, and you can, it's kind of participating in a live panel and you're in the audience, but sometimes you can raise hand and ask question. So that is taking off like crazy, and there are already some groups for people who want to practice languages. So definitely join Clubhouse. Let's talk a little more about offline. So whenever you're planning your next travel, think about taking a language course instead of just being a tourist. And I've been promoting this for years. I'm a product of Language Travel. My company, LinguaTrip, helps you guys travel around the world and book courses all over the world. So if you are thinking of going to the UK or Canada or another English-speaking country, just make your research, because whenever I compared like staying at a hotel versus taking a course and staying at a local host family, the second option is always cheaper because it is a student option, you get student rates, and you get to practice English a lot. You get to communicate with students from all over the world, and of course, you get to communicate with native speakers because all the teachers at schools are native speakers. The link will be below. Another thing that you can do, I don't know if you want to do it, but I did it. Just calling American companies. Again, you can get a Viber app, maybe pay like couple dollars to make calls, and you will get like unlimited calls for a month, and just call American companies and ask them. Like, if you're dreaming of going to New York and staying at this hotel where they shot Home Alone, if you want to stay in that hotel, just call them and ask like, hey, I wanted to ask if you have any rooms available for next week. And what's the rate? Can I get a discount? Like just that kind of thing. It is their job to answer, and who knows, maybe you'll end up coming. And the last but not the least, my Instagram is a resource where you can find a lot of people. And I feel that people on Instagram, in terms of like writing down in comments below, they're more responsive than on YouTube. So if you just go to my Instagram, subscribe to my profile, and then whenever I post my next post, you can just write in comments below that you're looking for someone to practice English and you're from this country. Like, talk about yourself. I am a student of this university from this country, and I'm looking for somebody from another country who doesn't speak my language to practice English, because my audience is really international. I have people from all over the world, and good chances are somebody would respond. Just make sure that you write that comment very soon after my post comes out, because this is when it gets a lot of traction, a lot of attention, and this is your way of finding a buddy. Thank you guys so much for watching this video up to the very end. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, hit the red subscribe button down below and hit the smash like button if you enjoyed the content. I will see you very soon in my next videos. Bye bye.